Everyone has ideas. Business ideas, side hustle ideas. What if I built this? Ideas. Everyone even has opinions on how they can run somebody else's business better. At the end of the day, ideas are everywhere. And they're easy. What's hard is the actual execution. I see people drown in ideas every day, but never take the first real step to bring one to life. When I started, I didn't have some brilliant idea or perfect plan. I had pressure, responsibility, and a decision that I made to execute. Over the last 6 years, my partners and I built a $100 million plus real estate portfolio and the operating businesses that surround it, not by chasing ideas, but by committing to actual execution. If you want to turn an idea into a real business, you need to understand what that actually takes. What I think is those ideas, they protect your ego. Execution, that's what exposes it. You're scared. You have fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of what other people think of you. And so therefore, you're willing to come up with all of these various ideas. That's why they're a dime a dozen. But the people that actually execute and move the ball forward, it exposes them. It exposes them to what they don't know. It exposes them to what critics might think. It exposes them to what family and friends might think. Why? Because when you start executing, you don't know what you're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing when they really start executing. That's why everyone lives in the idea stage. Do you ever have an idea and someone else has 12 more ideas and you sit there and you talk about it and nobody executes? That's because of fear. And so you've got to be willing to roll up your sleeves and dive in. If you decide to actually do that and dive in, there's 3 reality checks that you're gonna get hit with immediately. And that first one is understanding what the market is actually telling you. Can someone actually pay for this? Are they willing to pay for it? What are they willing to pay for it? Will they consume it? Do they like it? What is their feedback on it? At the end of the day, for you, you're probably scared what they think, and that's limiting you. That's holding you back. It's the fear. And so the first reality check you need to do with that great idea that you just came up with, yes, test it. Ask the marketplace. Figure out if you can actually sell it. Figure out if you actually solve a pain, a real problem with that idea. Because if you don't, are you really ever actually gonna be able to make money? The ideas that are in your head doesn't make it a great idea. What makes it the best idea is if the people that will give you money for it are willing to give you that money. That's the only way you're gonna actually get better. Second reality check, that fear, it thrives in confusion. And so you've gotta go get clarity immediately. You have all these ideas. You give yourself optionality. Well, I could do this. I might be willing to do that. I'll leave the option open for this. I'll ask the marketplace of 3 different options. It's just creating confusion. And that's, again, where that fear is gonna thrive, right? Because you're not really clear on what's actually gonna set it. So what I would tell you is make the decision and move. Focus on it, go. You have to, because that's what's gonna move the needle forward. It's gonna educate you. It's gonna teach you if that idea actually is worth something or not. It's gonna create the clarity that you need. That's what allows you to go execute. But more importantly, what it allows you to do is bust the idea that all you ever had was an idea, because it's going to eliminate that fear. That's what you have to do, but that's your second reality check. And your third reality check, focus, it doesn't limit you. It builds confidence. Focus builds momentum. Momentum builds commitment. And if you're willing to commit for long enough, you usually see success. The reason that success is prevalent if you really stay focused, because you're actually moving the ball forward and you're learning and you're developing and becoming an expert in whatever it is that you're doing. So you started at an idea, you stay focused on that idea and you start executing and you build that commitment, and that commitment just gets you confident. In order to have success on any idea that you want to roll out, anything that you want to sell, any company that you want to build, you got to have the utmost confidence. And I've got a secret. Not a single entrepreneur in the world has had the confidence that they have once they become a successful entrepreneur the day they started. And I know for a fact, I could promise you that. 7 years ago, I was sitting in an LA Fitness shooting basketball with not an idea. And I just started moving, right? I was like, I'm gonna start buying real estate. And look where I am today. Because I started and I committed and I focused and I kept going, and that's what you need to do with your ideas. Now that we have that reality check out of the way, really all 3 of them, I'm gonna give you 5 things to execute on early that I did that really changed the game for me, and I know they'll change the game for you. The first, I committed before I felt ready. Obviously for me, I got fired, so I didn't really have a choice, right? The boats were burned, we're on our way. But I didn't feel ready. I had no idea. But you've got to commit. And that commitment is everything. And by the way, you're never going to be ready to commit to entrepreneurship. You're never going to be ready. I promise. Nobody ever was, right? And so if you're not fortunate enough like I was to get fired, then you've got to commit early anyways. And go do it. The second, imperfect action. You're never going to be perfect, right? Progress over perfection. In our businesses, really even today, but especially early on, it was always progress over perfection. I used to tell everybody early on in the company, my partners, when we started hiring people, think about it like this. Spread your arms, put your hands wide open, and start running. And there's gonna be a lot of things that fall through those cracks. Let it. That's progress, right? But if you close your fist, guess how much slower you're gonna be running and pulling. That's perfection. You're never gonna get to where you wanna go with perfection. Open the hands, progress, move fast. The third, stay focused. I stayed focused longer than I was comfortable. That happens with entrepreneurs. Once you start to get ideas and you now know how to start moving and executing, more ideas come, more shiny objects come, other people are giving you ideas and you want to go execute on them. So stay focused as long as you can, but certainly way longer than you feel ready to stay focused. It's gonna help you in the long run. I'll even tell you for me, right? Shiny object syndrome is so real, and we made more mistakes as we were growing than we didn't because we got so focused, right, on those shiny objects, and we would take our attention and we would look there. The reality of it is we weren't ready, and so we had to stay focused. So that would be the third, stay focused. And what the fourth is, and probably the most important, track results, not feelings. Again, in business, if it doesn't hit the financials, it's probably not real. It's kind of like lead generation and branding. People want to put a billboard up and wonder how it's doing. We don't know. But if you have direct targeted digital ads, you're gonna know really quick the money you're spending if it's creating a return. That's for everything in your business. You have to track what is actually happening in the business, not how you're feeling. Because we could feel good, we could feel the momentum, and we could think that it feels amazing because everyone is giving us great feedback. But if we're not actually closing deals and bringing in revenue and profit, we're tracking feeling, not results. So you have to track results. And the fifth that I would tell you, keep going, even when nothing feels right. That's the key to this game. You know, I heard a funny saying one time, right? Probably not super funny, but real. The people that win in business are the people that stay in business the longest. So don't give up. Y'all remember the famous saying,
don't give up, don't ever give up.
And that's battling cancer. But in business, it is the same thing. Keep going. Don't ever give up. I talk to my business partners, right? And it's funny, I always say, I will figure it out no matter what it takes. If you're willing to commit to entrepreneurship, you have to have that. That would be the fifth. The confidence comes from doing hard things over and over again, consistently. If you're willing to do the hard things over and over again consistently, you will have success. Execution isn't exciting in the day-to-day. Progress probably feels easy early on, but it's gonna stagnate, it's gonna feel really hard. You're gonna have a lot of long stretches without validation. It's scary, it's fearful. You have to be able and willing to understand that going in. It's why execution, it's so rare and ideas are abundant. So if you're done letting fear and ideas hold you back, and if you're ready to focus, execute, and build something real, like and subscribe. This channel is about turning action into confidence and ideas into business.